Hey guys, Ryan Sassana here with Palmetto Boat Sales. I do the marketing and do all the Tech Tuesday videos. Today I'm going back behind the scene with all of our techs to ask them what they do to prep their boats before going out on the water.
Hey, this is Robert with Palmetto Boat Sales. Just want to go over a couple of things. The first thing to do when you first start your boat for the first time this year. First thing I want to check is make sure your battery has enough power to spin the motor over. All right, and the second thing I want to check is to make sure your steering doesn't have air in it and make sure that the motor spins when you turn the wheel. And of course, the next thing I want to check is to make sure I have enough oil in the motor. We want to make sure the motor's setting level and that it's been sitting for a minute to make sure all the oil's drained down into the pan. You just basically want to make sure that you have 3/4 on the dipstick. So first thing we do is wipe the stick and re-stick it in here and check it. 3/4 will be just fine. And that's how we check the oil.
Hey, this is Matt at Palmetto Boat Sales. Just a few quick simple things you can check before you go to the river for your first time out. One thing I see a lot of is blown tires. People don't check your tire pressure. So before you leave, check your tire pressure. You want to look for dry rot, bad wear. Look at the sidewalls. You want to look for tires that have been curbed. You might have a bad spot. You know, this is a great tire here. It's properly aired, good tread, no cracking from, just age. You start seeing cracking in your edges and in between your tread, where you have bad spots in the tread. A lot of people curb them pulling out of the gas station. You want to look for things like that. If you see that, replace it. Because what you don't want to have happen is a tire that looks like this. This is a good possibility of low tire pressure, nailing curbs. It's not fun when you have this happen on the side of the road. Next thing you want to check, taillights. Walk around. Make sure they're not corroded, rusted, falling off. It's very easy for them to just fall off during the winter from rust and corrosion from being in the salt water. Hook them up to your truck. Make sure your brakes and blinkers work. It's nothing worse than having somebody else rear end you because you didn't have working taillights. Last quick thing you want to take a look at, winch strap, safety chain, or some sort of safety strap. I have actually seen boats come off of trailers from rotten straps that are breaking and no sort of safety chain or safety strap coming off the bow eye down to the trailer. Make sure it's tight, it works, your locking mechanism works, and it's just solid and secure, just for safety. You also want to make sure it's good so when you pull out of the ramp from your first trip, your strap doesn't break and your boat gets left on the ramp. It's not much fun. Also seen that one happen. A few simple things you can check. Good luck on your first boating trip.
I'm Brian. I'm the parts manager for Palmetto Boat Sales, and I would check fuel and make sure there's a plug in the boat before I go out at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, before you go out on boating trips, it's a good idea to check your safety equipment. Flares, life jackets. Flares do even have an expiration date. You need to check that as well.